Virginia is traveling to Duke. And look, I hate being the guy that's like, it doesn't feel right because I was the guy that was pointing out Virginia and being like, hey, are we sure that's a great football team? Picked Wake Forest to upset them. Obviously, they get the upset, just not in the way that I wanted it to happen, right? Chandler Morris going down. Never a good look to see that. Jake Dickert, I mean, hello? We're not here to talk about Jake Dickert. This is a massive game right here. Duke, obviously, both these teams coming off losses against teams that they were favored, by, more than a field goal against. I mean, hello? We're here in November, all right? And Duke controls their own destiny to make the ACC championship, and they get Virginia at home, and Chandler Morris is banged up. Boy, I mean, like, this is getting a little bit crazy here in the ACC. This is getting nuts.
It is crazy. And two, like I'm trying to look and map out the rest of, the ACC, which by the way is just a nightmare in itself, which is amazing, which is why we love college football. And the one unintended benefit of the 12-team playoff, which I was, against. But with the automatic conference championship bids, like the last year, the Big 12 was so entertaining to watch that happen and unfold. And this year, the ACC seems like going to spoil us this season. So it's a lot of fun. Virginia has played 10 games already, right? So they are 2 games away. They played Duke, right, this week. They have a bye, and then they get an interim head coach at Virginia Tech at home. So, like, so much. Like, very, very, very doable there. And if you're Duke, you get Virginia and at North Carolina, and then Jake Dickert, man. Jake Dickert's going to be ready for that in Wake Forest, trying to spoil another season. It's hard, man. I think I have to go Duke here. I will say, like, we talked about Duke in Connecticut last weekend, and, like, UConn's a good football team. They have weapons offensively. They've got a great quarterback
The best
there.
quarterback in the country.
Who was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Duke is 5-2, man. They're 5-2 or 5-4, and they are atop of the ACC standings. It's fucking nuts.
With losses to Tulane and UConn, and they control their own destiny to make the college football playoffs.
It's amazing, man. This is why we love college football. But for Duke, like, you still have Mensa, Nate Shepard running the football, right? Defensively, like, has to be better. And you expect it to, I think, at home, coming back and potentially against a backup quarterback. And I'll say this about Daniel Kalen. He was a guy I liked coming out of high school. I know, a lot of teams in the Midwest were vying for him. He's a Nebraska kid, ended up at Nebraska, transfers over here, to Virginia. And listen, like, he didn't get it done, but he wasn't terrible, right? On the ground, he did some nice things. He had a long run. Like, you didn't have any interceptions. Like, I think he can win this football game. You get him a week, get Tony Elliott a week to get him prepared and what they need to do to get things done. Jamori Taylor, maybe lean on him a little bit more. You get Terrell Harris going after the catch.
I think Kalen did enough to beat Wake Forest. Like, there were other Jake Dickerty aspects of the game, right? The turnovers, right? Chandler Morris obviously getting hurt. Also, just Wake Forest, like, they were not good, like, down to down, but they just, like, put together a couple drives, and that's literally all they needed, and Virginia not necessarily converting those same drives, right? And, like, multiple third down conversions in a row, it didn't happen enough for Virginia.
Well, and the fumbles.
I like Duke a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna lay it with Duke here. We'll pick this game at 6.5. I'll lay it. I don't know if Chandler Morris is going or he's not. To me, I don't think it matters that much. I wouldn't think Duke is a better football team than Virginia. I think both of them. I think Virginia defensively has shown some real bright spots, and defensively Duke, not the normal Manny Diaz defenses that you're used to, you're normally used to seeing a top 30, top 35 defense from Manny Diaz, depending on what team he's at. That's not what you're seeing this year. All right. You're seeing a lot of stuff specifically through the air that is just explosive play after explosive play after explosive play. Can Virginia take advantage of that? I think if Chandler Morris is in the lineup, I think he definitely could on the road. But I think Duke, I think they get off the mat here against UConn. I mean, like, that is not a team to be hanging your head up like about losing to. You know, like on the road too. That was, we've already said more than we need to say about UConn in this video, but I'll still lay it with Duke here. Mensa is so good, man. He's so good. I know he had 2 picks this past week, but like he really has done a pretty exceptional job taking care of the football through the air. Of course, 2 of the bigger games that he's lost, people look at some of the interceptions he threw and like want to point at that, but man, he's not the reason. He's not the reason that Duke has lost 4 games. You're crazy if you think that. He's a dog. So yeah, but I like Duke here. Sorry, I think that there's a better coach on that sideline. I think there's a quarterback advantage. Virginia defense, sure, can travel on the road, but I'm not sure that. I don't know what defense is out there. There's a couple of them out there that can like shut down potentially this offense, but they're humming through the air.
Listen, I might fade you here, and I obviously don't feel great about it. Not going to be laying anything down on the Who's here, but what Virginia does well, they don't turn the ball over. They win on third downs. They're good in the red zone, and of course Chandler Morris has been an X factor for them. Those are things that they did not have against Wake Forest, right? Third downs, they were 3 for 14. Of course, Chandler Morris was not there. They did not convert, in score, when they got to the plus side of the field. They actually did run the ball well. 5.4 yards per carry is pretty darn good. Some of that was inflated by the long run by the quarterback. But listen, I think they go into Durham, and Duke defensively, I know is very, very gettable, right? And I think Virginia, they get enough game plan done, and also too with Morris. I feel a lot better if Morris is playing in terms of them winning. So I think for now, I'll just take Virginia plus 6.5 because we know they love to play close games, and they do. I will take Duke to win, but if Morris plays, man, I would like to flip that to Virginia winning outright. Sounds like it's a head injury. Sounds like it's not crazy serious, but some of those can be tricky, and who knows what the protocol may be over there, for Virginia and UVA. But oh man, what a fun one! It's going to be a gross game. It is going to be a gross game, but we are there for that, man. I think this is awesome. This is what makes college football so fun, so good. A couple of academic elites dueling it out there on a Saturday in the fall.
Virginia, I will also say on the road has been. I mean, they've been susceptible just about every game this season, but they just like find a way to win, right? Like the home road split isn't all that important, but it is, I think, important to note that you lost to NC State on the road. You did get the overtime win against Louisville on the road. That was a big deal, but you looked bad against North Carolina on the road as well. I thought the Cal win was pretty impressive, even though brutal bad beat for your Cal bettors in that game. That was tough. I just like I watched this Virginia football team and I watched them just like find a way to win, and I'm like, there are better teams out there. Not to mention this is also the best quarterback that they've played all year. And when they've played good quarterbacks, they've played in close games. Right? You look at CJ Bailey, you lose that game. Louisville, they had to go to overtime to win that one. Washington State, that was when they finally started playing Zevi Ekos, and close ball game, won on a safety. North Carolina, that was just a messy game on the road there, but I think it's a really good opportunity for Duke to win this football game, to continue to put themselves in the driver's seat. Obviously, both these teams are in the driver's seat for the ACC championship, I just think Duke's a better football team, so I'll be fading you. And I actually feel pretty good about it. So